Hold up, y'all. Where is... All right, y'all. We are here. We are here. We are here. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am Goddess High Priestess, Empress Alala Pantera. Blissful day. We are approaching the full moon in Sagittarius at 20 degrees. It's currently at 16 degrees. Okay. In the waxing gibbous phase. But we getting there. We getting there. We getting there. It'll happen around 2:43 Central, 3:43 Eastern Standard Time when it's exact as far as the full moon. So yeah, if you know what I'm, yeah, if you feeling for it to be up at that time to do what you do what you do. You know what I mean? But right now, right now, it is at 16 degrees, which is a Cancerian degree, and Cancer is ruled by the moon, and we're talking about the moon. And Sagittarius at 16 degrees. Currently, the planetary hour is what? Venus. Venus is in Taurus. So, let's look inside of degrees for this full moon. Just looking at the metaphor for it in general. The changing of water into wine. Now, when we talk about full moons, what are we talking about? We're talking about results, forgiveness, and gratitude, completions, a culmination of something that started or a seed that was planted during the new moon phase, which was November 30th of 2024. So we are 6 months in from the new moon in Sag, making it a full moon. Now, since the previous live and this one, if I were to average out the essence of the energy, it had to do with a prophetic vision, the ability to prophesize or to see prophecies, the ability to see the end of a cycle, something that's being completed. So basically, for you to be prophetic, you're seeing the end of it before something new begins. Now, we also have the ruler of Sagittarius that just went into the sign of Cancer, which is where Cancer, not Cancer, but the full moon loves to be. Not the full moon. Did I say what is okay? Whatever. Whatever right now. Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer. So it's a great thing for everyone's, especially cardinal signs, as Jupiter is in a cardinal sign, Cancer. The other cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. Now, this full moon is in a new illumination of a higher truth. This can show itself as I'm saying this to y'all right now. You can't see me, but my eyebrows are literally in the position of being aware. This is, we said this before. We said this before. It's not this, I mean, you could call it deja vu, but I do recall alive and this same thing happened. It's interesting. The same exact thing just happened. But anyway, we are closing out or seeing the results of what you started since the new moon in Sagittarius. When we look at what Sagittarius is, it is the handler of the arrow that goes towards cosmic understanding or intelligence. Okay? Now, this full moon can have you feeling, especially how close it's going to be. That's another thing about this full moon. You may have noticed the moon yesterday, how big it appeared. It's much closer. So the closer it is, the more you'll feel what its energy is encompassing, and that is the energy of Sagittarius, the sign that it's in. Okay? Now, give me 1 second. What is that? Hold up, y'all. Okay. My fault. I had to look out for something. Okay. So yeah. We're approaching the full moon in Sag. You could be seeing the direction, the vision much clearer now. Especially if you have made the decision to disconnect yourself from anything that is not connected to what you stand for. Okay. I'm gonna pull a message here to see what the vibe is for the collective at this time. It just became super still just now. Love that. But let me see what's going on. You know, with this energy, you may even find yourself focusing on what you see that is true for you. 6:06 on the clock. What is it connection to your mission, your soul's mission, and really focusing and moving towards that, doing everything possible and willing to take the steps that is asked of you from your higher self, your spirit guides, when it comes to reaching your destination. And there are many destinations. Doesn't mean that once you reach that particular destination that all ends. No, it's just a part of the story that is ever unfolding. And to do so, you also understand that you will have to be disciplined or connected to the 12 faculties of your mind, the 12 disciplines of the mind, which is taught to a majority of the collective through the stories of each disciple. They each represent the disciplines of the mind. And of course, we'll go into that type of energy, being that it's a full moon in Sagittarius, which also connects to that level of higher education or connecting to different belief systems to really gain a broader perspective or the bigger picture of a situation in order to decode whatever it is that is destined for one to decode on their journey. Let me see. I feel as though we're going here, but before that, all praises to the Most High. Gratitude, Mama Universe and Papa Universe. Gratitude to my ancestors, spirit guides, angels, warriors that guide and protect me. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of my angels, ancestors, spirit guides, Mama Universe, Papa Universe, Source, higher self. Infinite gratitude. Gratitude for this amazing collective source. Whomever tunes in, either during the lives, after the lives. Gratitude for those that are against and those that are with the frequency, for all, in terms of, for all purposes in regards to the mission, so things could get done. And getting done much faster in this timeline because of the resources, the different platforms that are available to the collective to get to the business much faster in terms of bringing awareness. Not to rush the process, but it is happening much faster with these platforms. So one is not having to prolong the process of closing out whatever cycles have to be closed out, so that way this realm can continue to ascend and expand. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Quite intriguing energy right now. So let's see what's coming through here. Okay. The stillness that has just come over right now is quite intriguing, I'll say that. But let me see what the vibe is. It's 6:11 right now. Show me the energy. Approaching the full moon. He said, hold on, what is going on? Okay. Of course, the energy will place me right in the middle of a threshold. Well, yeah, that's the purpose. My purpose. Welcome to those of you who are ready and willing to evolve, to transform, to not move and act as if you can't change. There's one thing's for sure that is inevitable is change. Now, I wonder. The card of the soul passion comes out number 14, which is temperance energy. Okay. This is the energy right now. The energy is the soul. Now, integrating the energy prior to the card, clarifying it. Notice the stillness, the quietness as well, before reaching this moment of clarity. It's as if one is feeling the dance of passion flow within them, while at the same time purging a prior existence that is also shocking to the body. What's shocking to the body is the rising of the tides, full moon energy, but one is predominantly water. So these waters are flowing with fire, but the fire is not being put out, neither is it moving as slow as lava. The fire is moving as water. But this is not new, but a return to remembrance of the soul. What is passion? What is love? Especially when collective chooses to recognize where there have abandon themselves quicker than they have left toxic relationships or situations or mindsets that no longer serve them. Switching gears, setting boundaries, no longer betraying oneself when those boundaries are set, therefore no longer abandoning oneself, and now able to disconnect, disengage from toxic relationships, situations, or mindsets that no longer serves collective. Two, two, two on the screen. I'm going to pull 3 tarot cards here to elaborate on this energy. Wow. At the bottom of the deck, you do have dark matter. The soul mystery, literally. Boy, 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 boy. This is, okay. There goes 38, though. Going into the depths of one's emotions to be able to see things fully and clearly. This full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius says, I see, is at 20 degrees, which is a Scorpio degree. And here you have the mystery, the dark matter energy, giving forth this Pluto energy. But this is about you coming into a position of balance. 11, number 38 at the top here of this card. But if we're looking at 3-8, we're also looking at the energy of Pisces going beyond realms to gain a different perspective, especially in areas of your life where you had an inability to move forward because of some level of illusion or uncertainty. Having an understanding of the 9 of Cups energy, Jupiter and Pisces, 3-8 vibes over here. That the moment you are able to integrate that which is aligned to you and allows you to be in alignment is when you connect to the fulfillment of your desire. I posted this earlier on Threads in regards to faith, and shout out to Neville Goddard, that faith is you already experiencing your desire fulfilled. You experiencing your desire fulfilled through your feeling. When we look at cause and effect as far as universal law, for every cause is an effect. What you feel creates the effect. What you feel creates the experience. Now, if there are things that you have been feeling that has been obstructing your vision, disconnecting you from the true essence of loving yourself in the sense of you are not abandoning who you are, your feelings, for a situation that you are seeking externally, when what you are seeking externally is what you are going to find within you, not outside of you. The question is now, the moment that you do that, do you recognize where what you call a soulmate is? Do you recognize what a soulmate is? And if they were actually your soulmate? Because when you are connecting to a soulmate, what that is saying is that you are connecting to where you are at vibrationally when it comes to your soul. So you will only connect with things in your external realm that match your awareness and understanding of where you are at in connection to your soul, or your awareness of your soul. For some of you, here's another message where it's understandable that there's the ideal of love and light, but some of you are out of balance with your darkness, out of balance with your shadow. Especially if you have Pisces, Virgo, Scorpio. That's what's coming to mind right now, highly aspected in your chart. Cancer too. Let's see. $622 on the time. Show me the energy as to why the soul is the energy along with mystery. 1438, 138 could be significant as well too. 238. Let me see if I can 1438 means to cut off. To hew down, to break off, chopped down. First card out, we have King of Cups, Scorpio energy. Let me get two more here before we dive into this. Also, speaking of pruning, 1438. Two more. Wow. The World, Scorpio, Capricorn. Emotions, Pluto energy, the depths of one's psyche, completion of a cycle, and the Page of Pentacles. I heard a message with this, a message in regards to a sharing of a similar story. This may have to do with no longer allowing yourself to be in situations where when you can't be in your most authentic expression along with your vulnerability. Certainly transform from that, from covering up a situation to now connecting to the truth of it, accepting something for what it is to make the best decision. Some of you may have closed out a cycle with a Scorpio, or this could just simply be you closing out a cycle with someone or something, a version of you as well, that is connected to it's very deep in terms of the intensity of connecting to the soul, but it can also become toxic in a sense. Because with Scorpio energy, let's say you have a moon or Venus in Scorpio, it's an energy where you see love or your emotional security comes from deep transformative connections, deep, intense transformative connections. Very interesting that this is under this card, mystery, silence, and this is all the energy that was coming through as we was pulling forward with the message. Okay. You also have life here, outer core, and then the water element. So yeah, followed by completion showing up here. Okay. So this is basically the energy of what we were saying, where you may have done a level of revision of your life, especially when it comes to the sharing of your emotions with people, where you possibly may have stopped exchanging that type of energy because of the hurt that you experienced along the way, but now finally being able to close out that cycle and giving yourself the opportunity to share that love and have someone who respects that opportunity as well, so that way that there is a level of reciprocity in, you know, experiencing that level of connection, as deep as it is, as soul transforming as it is. Not everybody is, you know, may say that they want love, but what it means to love, one has to really know themselves, love themselves, 333 on the screen right now, in order to fully experience that with another. Because it's not based on conditions. Too many have been taught or seen love in the way of, because this person does this, they love you. If they prove this to you, they love you. This is, love is what's allowing you to experience life. It's the love, the energy of love is what's having that heartbeat. The heart doesn't beat based off of you thinking about it, to allow you to have life, to experience life in this physical form. Mm. Hmm. Trust your instincts. Somebody may even have a Mazda for real. What is all the movement about? Mm. But yes, 4:34 on the screen, 43, the minute of the full moon, 3 a.m. if it's Eastern, 2 a.m. if it's Central. So yeah. I'm also seeing that because you have chosen to follow your passions, and part of that could have been really looking into the story of your emotions, the mystery, and going to the depths, the most darkest spaces. It allows you to close out a cycle where now you are able to experience dharmic realities instead of karmic. Experiencing your dharma rather than your karma. Now that's a whole nother life right there. You know. It's something you've completed emotionally. Because as far as the degrees, 20 being a Scorpio degree, that will be the final degree between 0 to 29 that has to do with the energy of Scorpio. So this is the final stage, the final round, the final cut. Some of you could be mentally or physically purging what is the final cut, what it is that you are releasing yourself from to start this new story or this dharmic journey, not a karmic lesson. If we're speaking to specifics of this, some of you, again, this could be a Scorpio that you finally close the cycle out with, or a masculine figure who played a significant role in your life, probably the most significant role in your life in terms of the training and the journey that you go through to connect to your sovereignty and no longer making this past situation a reason as to why you're not moving forward. You're now seeing whatever this situation as what helped mold you into you stepping into your sacred sovereignty, you stepping into your full power, you stepping into your authenticity. It absolutely came with a lot of tears and a lot of situations where, you know, there was a lot going on internally that you really couldn't express to anyone. And it really led you to see that although this is going on within you, you were also protected. It also comes through as an air elemental spirit guide or water spirit guide here to go through these emotions. And some of these emotions were obviously not the easiest. Now, that's also another thing in terms of you coming into alignment. It's not that things get simpler or less challenging. It's just that you are aligned, so it appears less challenging and much simpler. Some of you have taken the opportunity to speak up, especially with this butterfly here in her mouth. Something has, there has been a major transformation as it relates to your throat chakra or you expressing yourself. That's what changed everything. That's what allowed you to gain your wings. You began to speak up, but you spoke up from a space of authority. Someone who is aware of what they feel and honors what they feel. If that meant that it closed out certain cycles for something new to begin, then so be it. Butterflies are in both of these cards. Your vision becomes clear. My fault, y'all. My phone was ringing. But just in case we got cut off there. If that call comes in again, I might have to answer it. Can y'all hear? Let me see. Can I hear now? Testing, testing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Hold on. Let me look at these, because I am looking at this upside down as I'm doing these readings for y'all. Hold on. He said to bring it closer to you. So, let's see. So what I'm seeing from this is I'm showing it closer to you. Some of you, the release of tears is what opened up your throat chakra as well. The Magician is also going to be significant in terms of the activation. As you can see, her solar plexus is on fire. It's just the electricity coming from it is evident. And there seems to be a connection between the solar plexus now that is properly active in the heart chakra, which now puts you in a position of the Magician. Because both the heart and the solar plexus have to be activated. And in order for those two have to be activated, there has to be, as you know, there also has to be an activation of the root and the sacral, which is obvious because those others wouldn't open or be properly activated and functioning if the two that were its foundation were not activated. So there has been a lesson that has been completed as far as the root chakra that has to do with you gaining understanding as to what it means to be in an energy of basic trust, security, and feeling grounded, while also connecting to your desires and being able to create authentically from what it is that you are emotionally connected to by, of course, trusting your own emotions as well. And in trusting your own emotions, there were some things you did have to cut out or cut yourself off from. Basically, cutting out the weeds from your garden and choosing to water your own garden. 444 on the screen. Let's clarify this. Look at that. You have the Lover's card here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you certainly made a decision that led to you closing out a cycle. 621 could be significant because you've reached the epitome or the max level of betrayal. 10 of Swords. You're now ready for the sword of truth, the sword, not in the sense of using it to harm anyone, but it's more so connected to you having that mental clarity. And also regaining your strength in the process too. If we're looking at this from a love perspective, there could be communication that some of you are receiving from someone who's family oriented, also highly spiritual, that you may be connecting with, or you may have already connected with this person online in some way, shape, or form. After cutting yourself off from a situation silently, moving on from a situation without seeking permission from anyone, but doing what was best for you. Let's see. Do we want to use this tag? Okay, let's go here. Ooh, I know my plants are happy the sun came out. Y'all happy over there, huh? Uh-huh. Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay. What is this? Within a few cycles, the situation or event in question will develop or unfold within a matter of cycles. I call it cycles, what y'all call weeks, because y'all not weak. It's the same fucking word. King of Cups. At this time, the situation or outcome is likely to occur. Don't use that word over here either. Likely. So, because what is it? We're not asking for anything like something. What is it? What is the original occurrence? What is going to occur? So that could be what some of you may have been waiting on, and you finally closed out a cycle and stopped waiting for something external to you to bust a move and do something differently, that you just decided to close the cycle. You decided to water your garden. You decided to go down the path and trust in your heart and what your heart's been telling you this entire time about something. Literal time. That's the mystery. Number 38. Jackpot at the bottom of the deck. One of Virgo showing up here. Prosperity, having plenty. The real deal, the prime source. Really connecting to your prosperity by seeing yourself first as the prosperous one. Because to connect to whatever it is that you are connecting to, it is also what you are at that point that connection was made. And this full moon in Sag is coming in the most opportune time, while Jupiter goes into Cancer, and Jupiter loves to be in Cancer, giving gifts of nurturing or expanding things that you feel and love. It's going to expand and the energy of love. And for the full moon in Sagittarius to happen at this time, it's divine timing, divine order, what we can call perfect timing, in the sense of whatever it is that you see no longer serves your ability and desire to connect to a way of life that means that you have your freedom. Whatever is pulling you away from that is what you're closing yourself out from. You're cutting it off. You're freeing yourself, freeing your spirit. Sagittarius is a free spirit energy. You're freeing yourself. You see Shorty with her arms open now. Okay, going through a whole nother portal, going through the freedom portal, making a decision to close out whatever it is that you've been taking action on with this masculine energy, Scorpio, taking action on when it comes to sharing your deep, intense emotions with an energy that's not even there, or may not even have the maturity to withstand, or the backbone to be able to be around this type of energy of you being in your free spirit. Tell me more about this. Okay. Hot air balloon shows up sideways. A new perspective, a challenge with a new perspective, a challenge when it comes to ascending and elevating. That's why 38 again. Why is this a challenge here? Look at this. Some of you are in a position were in a position where you felt your energy just shut down, or you were around people that you loved more than yourself, that you even allowed yourself to be in a position of open dishonor. Wow. Not the Mentos, but the song that, okay. Literally, it said she did something about she didn't smile this way when she was with you. Something about that. Well, okay, listen. This could be the story that whomever it is that you are leaving behind, because you see things clearly, whoever they have around them is saying, yo, you fucked that up. You fucked that up. And now collective is moving on, free from this entire situation. Because it's a King of Cups, yes, upright. This could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But the fact that this card that has to do with elevation, uplifting, freedom is on that card too. New perspective, it came out in a challenging position. And no coincidence here. And it shows up with the very likely, which is why I said that we don't do the word like over here. What is it? What is it? Reason being, you say like or lie without sounding it out from your mouth, and it's just mouthing out the word itself. You saying it quietly. Like and lie, your face moves the same way. And the reason of explaining that is because, for one, what has logic or sense of humor or the essence of just playing is you being in this physical body that can feel these things and make and come up with certain reasons as to why. But when it comes to the universe and manifestation, don't none of that shit even matter. Which is also why I say the universe doesn't have a sense of humor. So saying that to say there could be a situation where people say things that they actually mean to you or you towards them, and you just say, I'm just playing, but you did not really just playing. No. Because I'm pretty sure you've gone through an experience where someone says, I'm just playing, but when shit get out of hand, what they were just playing about, you actually hear again. So were they just playing the first time? This full moon is Sagittarius, and the Sagittarius energy is also connected to that vibe too, in terms of, I'm a Sag myself, but when it comes to why the energy of a Sag cuts people off the way we do, is because we observe the way a person moves. We don't have to ask questions, because then that's what keeps a game going. That's dealing with the situation, especially a high vibrational Sag. Knowing the difference between dealing with something and handling a situation. When you handle a situation, you observe it for what it is, because you can have the conversation once, but to have that same conversation the second time, nah. Especially when you see you yourself having the ability to change, to do something differently than one has done the previous time, so the same result won't come about. Obviously it would take a level of maturity once again to want to be at a higher perspective, a new perspective, a higher dimension, to see things differently and clearly. So some of you may have to do that, that type of people inventory of what you got around you. Do you have elite type of energy or assholes around you? So yeah, this is something about either person is actually physically serving time, physically, mentally, or spiritually. that this is what you are having to close out, or this is you yourself. This is the energy you have to close out from yourself, where you're no longer taking any prisoners per se, not even yourself, not allowing yourself to be mentally trapped, physically trapped, spiritually trapped, by no longer abandoning yourself. Because think about how if you to really sit there and observe and analyze for real, how often do people stay in situations, abandoning themselves, quick to abandon themselves to stay in a situation rather than leave the situation that's toxic? Because what? Because of the lack of understanding of what self-respect is, love, discernment, authenticity. It's all stemming from a lack of knowledge from those things, of the discernment, the authenticity, and things of that nature, the self-respect. And also what society has taught humanity over periods of time, that in order for one to quote unquote be successful or prosperous, you must work hard, or you must strain yourself first before. Nah. Because those that are teaching that to the collective to keep them in this rat race, they're not doing that themselves. So let's go. What's the world? Immediately, I'm hearing your heart as the fortress, where you are allowing yourself to set those boundaries, and in doing so, here you go, completing a cycle, which also means that in order for you to complete this cycle, you have to resurrect a part of yourself, judgment, that says, I am no longer tolerating things that no longer serve me. I am no longer tolerating the things that strip me from freedom. I am no longer tolerating things that doesn't feel as though I'm ascending and expanding. No longer settling for things that are likely to happen when you can actually create what it is that you want to happen. Not likely. Because even if somebody tell you they like you and someone tells you they love you, you know those two different energies. Once you get to a point where you're not even focused on who likes you or not, even furthermore, disconnecting from that word in general and just connecting with those that love you, and just staying away from those that don't, the quicker you get to that space, the lighter, more joyful, and expansive life will be. Being able to have the fortitude and staying power to do whatever it takes to just live the life you want, without having to break your back doing so. See, backbone is on here. There's something about someone not having that backbone, as we mentioned before. You know, the vessel to be able to withstand what your true nature is, and they were able to connect with you based on you suppressing that part of yourself, and through these tears and no longer keeping your mouth shut because you have done the shadow work, you're able to disconnect from whatever you have to disconnect from and close out the cycles, finding your way. New perspective is coming out here quite a bit in different cards. What else? What is unlikely? Wow. This is at the bottom of the deck right now. The Dear John card. Breakup, setting boundaries. What's going on here? 19, which is a Sun card. Now, for this to come up with this here right now, what it's showing me that unfortunately there's certain people either within some of you here watching this, and you better not be, okay, in a position where you gonna sit here and listen to something and it triggers a change within you and you allow yourself to stay stuck. No, highly don't recommend that. Or this could be an energy around you where it's unlikely that one will set boundaries and continue to strain in situations, unlikely to cut a cord. Again, with the word like in there too, unlikely, which is showing even more so that you know something is not for you, but you're still staying there. Whether this is you or something around you. Again, this is not a channel where you're looking for me to be your friend, because I don't even have friends. That's a whole nother word too. Because when you talk about relationships, friendship, the word friend, out of most of the ships that you can get in, that's the one ship that has an end to it. An end to your sacred values. FRI, abbreviation for Venus. For Friday, connected to Venus. Because friends are lessons that, karmic lessons that bring you towards your dharmic soul tribe. And some of you see this when you go on your journey of doing things, you know, whether if it's starting a business or being on social media. If you are someone on a public platform, you notice that you get more support from people that you don't know than your quote unquote friends or people that you even have in your contacts. Some of you in a position, all you got to do is make a decision that's in a position to have the world in your hands. Do whatever you want when you want. But you have to make a decision about stagnant energy that is barren, literally barren. This there's no leaves, no foliage here, but there is here. So there's something about you having to analyze you yourself as having these deep, intense emotions and these visions and these goals and aspirations that you have. But does the energy around you match that, align with that at least? And if it doesn't, why still have it a part of you? All it takes is for one rotten apple to fuck up the rest. It's time for you to illuminate your higher truth, collective. It's always been your turn, but give yourself that chance. You know what I'm saying? Why is this here? Now, let me look at this. What is this? 191? Okay. If you misuse your staying power in a situation that is time for you to complete a cycle, you willingly give up fortune, prosperity, and having plenty. This may have to do with family members. because this is at the bottom of the deck, which is letting me know that this is something you're already thinking about, or it's at the forefront of your mind or your subconscious. So however you want to place this right now. You have parents here, children, siblings. Tribe is also here. People you may have thought were kindred spirits, that too. That energy as well, where you may have started something and now it's time to do some inventory in terms of, okay, yeah, these people may have been there, but what is the energy you're picking up from the energy that has been there? Is it something that is actually there to support you, or people just being nosy? Do you have family members that the only time you hear from them is when they got something going on, but when you just call them to say hi, you don't hear from nobody? When they got some nonsense or some BS going on in their life, you right there. Not even three rings. You right there. For some of you, could be carrying a load from somebody on your mother's side, a mother. I'm also getting where some of you are in a situation where you are not the biological mother, but you're taking on a lot of, you're holding a lot of weight, a lot of burdens when it comes to the situation that you're in, more than the people that are biologically connected to this situation. You have dynamite that comes up, and breakup is here, catalyst for change, short fuse, sudden, unexpected. Yeah, especially because this is a 8 and a 5 Leo energy, but 13, which is Scorpio. Yeah, this time is the Wheel of Fortune isn't out here, but it's something in regards to, it's time for you to get on your dharmic path, your dharmic experiences, and not karmic. It's time to fine tune, heal, fix, with this green showing up here again. Time for you to restore, upgrade, mend. Let me see, one more. The flag card came out in reverse, 6 of Aries, which would be plans not coming to fruition, lack of recognition. Yeah, something about carrying something that is it's not for you to carry. That's what it is here. Or protecting a situation that is not meant for you to protect. Because your protection is more harmful than, beneficial to whatever the situation is. This is also coming through as work here for some of you, where you're doing whatever it takes to keep this growing, but it's going to remain in the same spot whether you're there or not. So it's as if there's a waste of energy where you are placing yourself in a situation that is, is done and over with. You can turn the wheel and assist yourself and have a better outcome than this massive ass company, where you may feel as though your security is coming from, but what you consider security is going to be pocket change the moment you realize the gift that you were given, what is a natural talent for you to do, is really going to put you in a space beyond, feeling secure, where you have that freedom and security, of course, but you know what I mean. We have victim mentality that shows up here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, what is going on here for real? What's the Page of Pentacles? Tell me what's going on here. Person of Water, which is right here. Has to do with something or someone you're emotionally connected to. Feels deeply sensitive, intuitive, empathic. A volatile situation, unpredictable, watch out is here. Kerosene. Bedroom is also here. This could be a warning here for some of you. Let me just see where this goes. But also something here about astral travel and dream time. Is a message that comes through to you very clearly through astral travel. So some of you may have recently done some level of cord cutting, and the answer or the result has shown up in dream time, astral travel. Confirmation about it. What's this? Fine print. Detail, look closer, in depth, deep dive, hidden information. Yeah, okay. Let me see. Wow, what the fuck? This is at the top of the deck. Black Widow and headache. Yeah, toxic situation or relationship. Needing self-care, the root cause, the root feeling. Something's off, and you can tell by the feeling of it. Something's off. Low vibration. This is certainly unexpected. I was certainly not expecting this to go this way at all, for real. Maybe there's something about uncovering a situation, especially after getting to the matter of it. Hold on. I want to look more at this here. Tell me more about the soul. Tell me about the soul mystery. The soul mystery in this. What's the soul mystery in this? Changing comes out first. Hold on. And she got cards in her hand. Let me hold up. Where is eyeglasses? Assessment, evaluate, judgment, examine, fine print. More about checking the details. Yeah, something about dream time happening now. Happening soon, happening now. Something is changing. If you felt as though you were at a roadblock, there was some sort of pressure or strain where you may have felt uncertain here. There may have been a disconnect from your God self. Imagination shows up, which caused you to do something over and over and over again that wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, baggage, unresolved issues. Okay. Let me see. Where are my regular cards? Right here. Let me see. I'm gonna pull one of the regular playing cards that she has here. Let me see what comes up. Show me the soul mystery. Show me the soul mystery. This is what we're looking at here, y'all. in regards to something changing. The soul. Stop shuffling. We at 33. 3 of hearts and 3 of clubs. These could be your cards. Take that as it resonates. 7-11 on the time. What is changing here? The soul mystery. What is changing here? Anyone? What is changing here? Yeah, the 8 of spades. Wow. Okay. Let me see. The 8 of spades is the symbol of light workers. It is a message to the spiritual healers of the world and the higher calling that beckons to you. Let me see. You're a light worker. What is changing the soul mystery is that you're a light worker, a spiritually attuned being capable of transforming any kind of darkness into light for themselves and for others. You have the unique ability to see and change darkness or negative energy into light and to use that ability to heal others. That makes a lot of sense why all these cards are coming out the way they're coming out. It's presenting the dark situation for sure, where one feels stuck or confined to something. You are responsible for the outcomes of your own future as well as that of those around you with your ability to heal others. You can make choices that will help others to lighten their load, to walk the spiritual path with you, or let them carry on by themselves. That's a decision you have to make. It's important for you to be aware of the choice you are making in any given situation. The decisions you are going to have, the decisions you make are going to have a huge impact, not only in your life, but they can ripple far beyond your imagination. In matters of love, it's a sign that it's time to let go of the baggage, literally what it says here. Happening soon, happening now, happening soon. A roadblock, straining situation where you feel uncertain, a block of one's imagination and, you know, things that you really came here to do due to baggage here, literally. That's what this is at the bottom of the spread. Where you may have been in something that was stealing from your essence of life, especially if you're unaware of your ability as a light worker to change, to alchemize the situation with the 8 of spades. It's a sign that it's time to let go of baggage from the past and look on towards a bright tomorrow. This might mean learning to move on from hurt of previous relationship or see a way through the blockages of a current one. Light workers carry a unique ability to see the way through obstacles where others would feel trapped and helpless. This bodes incredibly well for their own love life and relationships with others, but they're also beacons of powerful connections. Other people in a light worker circle will find strength and healing in them and gain a sense of inspiration from their presence. They attract their own high energy and intense connections by just being around you. Sometimes this means you're called upon to help them navigate these waters, these pure waters, Scorpio energy, pure soul waters, but you're perfectly equipped to do so by your very nature. It was very likely for you to be in a situation here that was obviously stripping you from your freedom, but for you to alchemize it, some of you made it a situation where it was This is what love is. You don't have to do that shit. When it comes to feelings, a light worker can have complicated energy, and while people are naturally drawn to you, they may feel as though it's a complicated situation. Because you're around people who don't understand you because they don't understand themselves. And they are also connected to the part of you that disregards yourself or doesn't fully understand yourself or the power and ability that you have, especially if you consider yourself a light worker. For others of you, just to uplift the energy, that you're using your energy in the right moment, correct moment, and to continue doing what you're doing by speaking your truth out loud and living authentically, which often leaves others seeing how awesome you actually are, my love. Because you may have been in positions where people were intimidated by you, and others were so intrigued that they got around you, but they were also intimidated unnecessarily, and it showed up as them defending themselves against you in subtle ways where they really didn't have to move that way, but because they didn't understand themselves or understand you, this is the reason why things would unfold the way they would unfold energetically. And these type of connections where people are just interested in you, but interest also comes with a higher price. As an advice, it's time for you to look after yourself, not just others around you. It's time for you to stop neglecting yourself in the process of caring for everyone else. Yeah, see, abandoning yourself quicker than leaving behind toxic people or situations. No more of that. Okay? It's time for you to pour into you. Pour into you. And you really see who love and support you and see you for who you truly are then. Okay? So yeah. Also, some of you could be weavers, cosmic weavers. Neith, goddess Neith, could be significant. And also with Sagittarius energy, she could be significant here. You are a cosmic weaver. Discovery of Witches, you may have to watch it again if you saw it once. The second and third time you watch it, you might see something about yourself. Okay? So tell me more about the mystery of the soul, about what's changing. There's a lot happening in here. Finding your way, what's the surrendering? Okay. Making amends, de-escalating a situation. 23. This may even have you appearing much younger. Pouring into you. Yeah, literally pouring into you. No longer closing yourself off from pouring into yourself. With the mirror and the ostrich is what I'm picking up from that. Some of you, the lesson of you connecting to self-care and self-love was your journey with narcissistic people. Where they would project onto you when it comes to you being there for yourself. Some of you carry a burden from that. where you may not do what you normally used to do. This could be what you're closing the cycle on, where you're now coming back to yourself. You see things very clearly for what they are. And also seeing when situations online or people that you may look up to change their life around and are no longer in situations that they used to be because they're not tolerating nonsense. That could also, you know, be helping you in terms of you reconnecting to yourself for real. No longer feeling powerless or helpless. Yeah, look at that. At the bottom of the deck, you have the constellation. Networks, yeah. Something about what's going on with what you see online these days with women and their new men moving on, making sure they living their life. For real, for real. If you in a situation that is not beneficial to your mind, body, spirit, and soul, you got some serious work to do in terms of asking yourself, why are you still there? You know, 388 on the time, on the screen, 7:23 on the clock. Most cases it's because where you are at within your own connection with your soul, if you're in something that no longer serves you, that's as far as you see yourself or connect to your soul. You would have to go take that deep dive and remove whatever lids or coverings that are sitting in the shadows that's not allowing you to get up out of these situations, because you don't know the maximum love that you have for yourself by showing yourself that love and not placing yourself in situations where you are being ridiculed or openly dishonored by whomever it is you got in your environment. Whether if it's openly or subtly, dishonor is dishonor. That shit shouldn't even be a thing. And that is not love. Happening soon. Changing, happening soon. The soul mystery, changing, happening soon. Welcome, Pantera Soul fam. Original Pantera Soul fam. Amina, welcome, honey. Declaration, Ashe. I love to see it. Reclaiming of your power. Absolutely. Sovereignty. The soul mystery, changing soon. Reclaiming your power. Truth. Yes. Liberty or death. Rules of the game. Challenging the status quo. This could even be something that is within you genetically or within your cells, because it's the story that you've been telling yourself this entire time. So the cells continue to replicate this existence or this reality within you. So now the outer core has to play that out. Literally the same. This is what this is. That's exactly what this is. If disrespect, dishonor, lack of discernment flows effortlessly within you, it's going to be the same experience emotionally with others outside of you. Even if something may look as beautiful as this, but there's a lot lurking in the waters that may not be beneficial to you. And if nobody told you, I'm going to tell you now, it's okay to disconnect from situations or people who do not see you, who do not respect you, who openly dishonor you, who call you out of your name. It's okay to disconnect from people. Let's see if you're back. Okay, so we're back. So yeah, it's okay to disconnect from anything or anyone who doesn't see your see you or embrace the divine embodiment that you have grown into, remember, and reconnected to. Okay. So this is just clarifying the soul mystery. It says changing soon, to you, reclaiming your power. New contract. A new contract where you are fine-tuned, healed, all things working on all cylinders, making adjustments, recovering. I love that. What is unchanged here? Let me see. Show me what's unchanged. What's unchanged? Anything that places you in a position of tension, strain, and anxiety, and having you feel as though you got to pull back, is always going to be that way in that area, in that sector. Okay? This could be a person of air, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or something having to do with a significant one-on-one relationship, seventh house, someone you've grown up with, or a certain way of thinking you picked up growing up, the third house, or having to do with groups that you were connected to and that you are no longer connected with, 11th house. Or that's also the house of quote-unquote friendships, 11th house. Certainly a crew here. A crew that you're no longer in sync with. Sequence prints could be significant. Or sequence. Something about that. But certainly a crew that you were not in sync with. That's never going to change in terms of that energy. Okay, if you want a different type of summer, a new summer, a better summer, okay, then move accordingly. In terms of connect with those that match your alignment, your energy of alignment, and not your energy of want and need. Because that is not alignment. People gonna feel as though, you may be in situations where you may be brokenhearted, but now that broken heart is going to break too. It's going to be a non-existent broken heart because it's going to be healed, fine-tuned, okay? Divine intervention is coming in to make sure you clear yourself from any distressing type of situations that just continue to put you in a state of hurt, or people that feel that way around you because you are giving more to yourself than you are giving to them because they don't have anything better else to do with themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they just bitter, keeping you out of bitter situations, especially if you're a projector. When you in the energy of being bitter, you are in the energy of not being yourself. So that is not a position you want to be in. A projector in human design. Spring. It's now, yeah. You got a few more lucid moments, aka days, before you go into the summer. It's still spring. So by this new moon in Cancer, it's basically asking you to plant new seeds when it comes to what you consider family, where you feel at home, placing yourself in positions where you feel as though you belong there. That first starts with you, though. Belonging within your own self, so that way your outer self, your outer core reflects that. Feel me? One more. One more. You could be disconnecting from people you grew up with, for sure, since people you've known since your youth. Or this could be a Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces. Things that keep you from stepping into your independence, because that came out sideways, upside down, however that came out, yeah. Because there's a lack of harmony, lack of synergy going on. Not on the same tune, not even on the same music sheet. It could also be something about music that is different and it's a problem. Child, yeah. Someone you knew since you were a child, or someone you have a child with, learning to co-parent with the person. Old habits dying hard. Learning to co-parent with the person. It may have to do with overcoming a situation where there is something that keeps one stuck in the past. Or this could be something from your childhood, allowing yourself to close that out by recognizing you're not that person anymore. Or something may occur where you watch something that helps you to move on from that. Watching something that helps you to move on from that, it plays out as a conversation with someone you didn't recognize that you wanted, that you desired to have. That this whatever this is, that if it's not a conversation you have with someone to come up with a solution, not just vent, to just be talking, but to have a conversation, to connect with the solution as a desire. This is something you're doing in another dimension that allows you to connect to the evolved and ascended, expanded version of yourself. Yeah. The birdcage. Feeling trapped, wanting freedom. Yeah. Yeah, something about music, or the desire to express oneself and not doing so, possibly as a form of protection. Not being able to have a conversation as a form of protection, so that way the transformation can happen internally, so that way you could be presented with an experience externally that really and genuinely allows you to have a conversation to get to a solution. For some of you, this is this channel, basically. We got the sword and scales showing up. Truth, justice, yes. Balance, absolutely. Hear me out, literally, right there, the very last one. Yeah, okay. So that's that. Let's grab an angels and ancestors message to close this off, because I am going on a walk. We'll be back on live tomorrow. One message here. Follow the voice of your soul, the star ancestor, and see from a higher perspective. Some of you could watch the movie Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's coming through. There's a lot of looking up here. And the eagle, wow. The eagle flies above the storm so high that it flies above the storm. So you may have been placing yourself in the storm for quite some time. For some of you, that meant not saying something. You were literally placing yourself in the center of it. In the moment that you do say something, it may not even be something that's rude, but it has people looking at you differently to a point where they on some, you see their true colors about how they really feel about you. The star ancestor Follow the voice of your soul. Heed the messages coming directly from your soul. And we started with the soul card. You know what? The star ancestors is a Native American term for extraterrestrial light beings who are dedicated to the healing and growth of the world. These incredible beings are divine embodiments of love who bring wisdom from the higher realms. Often people feel a sense of connectedness when they look up into the night sky and see the stars. I believe that's because they are remembering their starry connections, yes. And those are what this card represents. The star ancestor is reminding you that you have otherworldly support and that your friends from the stars can help you if you are willing to be helped. They can support you in connecting with and following your soul's deepest calling. Extended message. There is a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information and inspiration that has been coming your way recently is not new information, but memories. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. You are being drawn towards a road that would not only light you up, but also help you light up your corner of the world. Continue following the cosmic guidance that is coming your way. This is on page 77. And also, there is something about today 2022 and 23. Something about today, 2022 and 2023. Now, message from your subconscious mind. Look at things from a different angle. Fly higher and see new possibilities. In animal medicine, both Native American and Celtic, the eagle draws its power and strength from the sun. Speaking of her solar plexus here also. Okay. It is a powerful, strong, and courageous guide who is able to see for miles. The eagle approaches all things with intelligence, grace, and poise, and has the capacity to make a plan from a higher space before putting it into action. When the eagle card appears in a reading, it shows that you have a real ability to take things higher and to move beyond the limitations of your ego and your selfish desires. Selfish desires meaning what it is that you are calling in when you are in a selfish state, being in a position to get to a version that is similar to yourself because you have recognized that you've been pouring into people more than you've been pouring into yourself. Now you're being asked to move beyond those limitations where you could be calling in certain things or wanting to manifest certain things as a form of protecting yourself. But as you evolve from that 7:44 on the clock, now you're doing it from a space of sovereignty where it's connected to more joy, discernment, and unconditional love rather than protection and I don't give a fuck what anybody say energy. I'm gonna do this because that type of vibe. It's different. It's a little different. Completely different. Extended message. Eagle medicine swirls around you, encouraging you to recognize that your views or vision may be limited at this time. Is there a chance that your own desperation, needs, or ego could be blocking you from seeing the potential in your current situation? If there are other people involved, you are being guided to see things from everyone's perspective. If you are feeling the need for something to change, how can you take the higher road? I love that because when it comes to you, to see things from everyone's perspective, that also means you're seeing it from the position of what you would do by looking at things from a more mature and solution-based perspective. And if you see something that can be a solution, but a person wants to keep on holding on to some shit that is not going anywhere, that's your cue to skedaddle. 3111 on the screen. That's your cue to go. That's your cue to exit that situation because they obviously want to sit in the position that they're in. The birdcage. Your subconscious mind, the essence of yourself is in this message is connected to the ego at this point, not this bird that's being caged. Okay, okay, okay. Know that if you have intentions that aren't for the highest purpose, it would only hold you back. See, eagle medicine can help you change this. The eagle brings the energy of healing and love directly from the heart of the Father Sky. I love that because it's given the energy of Saturn as well, although the Saturn energy could be the crone, the mother energy, whatever floats your boat, honey. But as far as Saturn, this would be you bringing the energy of healing and love directly from the lessons you've learned in regards to basic trust, security, feeling grounded and rooted, okay? You're now being invited to do all things that you do from a place of love, as it will connect you to your abundance. This is on page 125. And you got spirit around you, 7, you know what I'm saying, taking you through a massive initiation in regards to you finally connecting to the voice of your soul, the version of you that is connected to your transformation. Literally, the voice of your soul is the mystery here. The voice of your soul is the mystery here. The mystery is that you are now ready to live the life of the soul transformed. So you're ready to step into your purity and your sovereignty. Congratulations, do that. The beginning of this message, obviously, it was quite rocky because there's a lot of that energy going on where people may go back to a situation or not be able to leave a situation because they're seeing the potential that they cannot get someone to take the lid off because you can't control anyone but who? Thyself. Okay? I love you. I will see you on the next live. It's always great to see you, Amina, my love. Make sure you look at the challenge that the members have, okay? We are on Lucid Moment 1, all right, of gratitude. And I'll be checking in with y'all, holding y'all accountable, you know, and having y'all let me know what is it that you're grateful for. 21 Lucid Moments Challenge. If you are a member of the channel, you know what it is. It's that season. It's that timeline that we on. So we gonna make it do what it do, members of the channel. Y'all stay tuned because I got a lot more coming for y'all. But y'all gotta stay tuned and y'all gotta be active. All right? But I love you unconditionally and I'll see you on the next live, my love. Okay. Later.